Hey everybody, welcome to my secret podcast. I've been reading Isaac the Syrian. This is from his ascetical homilies. And I read one page a day. I can't take in more than one. It's too dense, too difficult for me, at least, to grasp. There's a lot in them. So I wanted to share two quotations from his first homily with you and see how that can apply to us today, here, now. But I want to begin with something I've noticed in myself, and it wouldn't surprise me if you do this too. Sometimes when I read a challenging verse from Scripture, or the Church Fathers, or the saints, I find that I get defensive. It's not explicit. There's just this internal reaction that says, well, this is unrealistic. Do you know what I mean? Like, this was written for a different audience from a different age. Yeah, it would be impractical for me to implement this advice into my life. You know, this was written for monks. This wasn't written for me living in the world in this day and age. There is merit to that objection. He is, in fact, writing to other monks. So the point isn't there's no merit to it. The point I'm trying to make is, even if there's merit to what you're saying, that reaction you have, that defensive reaction, yes, fine. And yet, I want to ask myself, does that mean you can learn nothing from what he's saying, Matthew? Does that mean this in no way has to apply to your life? That his advice can't be accepted to some degree? Is that what that means? And the answer is, okay, fine, obviously not. So then the next question is, okay, then what of this advice can apply to your life? And how could you apply it? Okay, so that's what I want to share with you today. Two quotations. To lay the foundation of virtue, nothing is better than for a man to contain himself by means of flight from the affairs of life. To contain himself by means of the flight from the affairs of life. When I read that, I think what he might mean is that when we chase after the affairs of life, and how we might apply that today is when I'm listening chronically to my political podcasts and I'm staying on top of the news, whether that be ecclesial news or political news or celebrity drama or gossip or what have you, when I'm doing that, it's like I'm living outside of myself. I'm dispersing myself into these distractions instead of being with myself and with God, instead of being present to God now. So he's saying contain yourself by means, how do we do that? By fleeing the affairs of life. Second quote, no one can draw near to God save the man who has separated himself from the world. Okay, but Isaac, listen, I can't do that. I have a wife and kids, I have a job, I have responsibility. Yes, I know that, Matthew. All well and good, point taken. And yet, how can it apply to you, right? Listen to this. This is virtue. That in his mind, a man should be unoccupied with the world. I mean, does that mean nothing? Surely it doesn't mean nothing to you and me. Surely it must mean something. So I'm just going to end with a quick challenge for you and for me. Very often, we spend our days just sort of worried and anxious and not at all present to the good God who is present to us. We might rattle off a few prayers in the morning, but then our days are filled with meetings and errands. And then in between meetings and errands, we're consuming hours of political podcasts or information that is just stirring up the soul and agitating the heart, is not actually bringing peace and solace to it. And then we wonder why we're so stressed out. And then just at that moment when we're stressed out, we think, I wish there was an app. Maybe there's an app for that. We always want to add things. We never want to subtract anything, do we? Maybe there's a meditation app, or I've heard about this Hallow thing, which is excellent, right? Maybe I can use that. But the answer is probably a lot simpler. I think the answer is just cut things away. Cut the affairs of the world that you and I are addicted to. we can turn away from. The problem is when you turn away from it, it feels like poverty. You don't realize how addicted you are to distractions until you honestly try to cease from those distractions, to stop distracting yourself. And then you go, oh wow, I've got a problem. So here's what I'm going to do today. I don't know what you're going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my phone off because I don't need it for the rest of the day, actually. If I had an obligation to work, I would keep it on. I'll turn it on later, some point today, just to see if I've got a text message from work. But I'm not going to walk around with my phone today. That's pretty simple. I'm going to go hang out with my kids who I love. I want to hang out with them, and I don't want them to be an obstacle to me listening to podcasts or being on my phone, right? Instead, I want my phone to be an obstacle to my kids and my beautiful wife, and I want to choose them above this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask them what they want to do. That's a good question. What do you want to do? As opposed to imposing what I want to do on them. And then I'm going to do that thing with as much joy as I can muster. And I'll be able to do it, I'm sure. Because what they usually want to do is pretty fun. That's what I'm going to do. That's the simplest thing ever. So my question for you is, what are you going to do? Now, this question and this advice that I'm trying to share with myself and you is not for those who are advanced in the spiritual life. You don't need this, probably. You're fine. So I hope you haven't wasted the last 6.5 minutes listening to this, if that's you. But for the rest of us, if you want to, in the comments, maybe we could share with each other something we could do. Don't give each other advice as if other people are the problem. You're the problem. You have a problem. So what are you going to do to address your problem? And again, my suggestion would be it's less about doing and more about cutting away. God bless you. Thanks for being here.